Let's hear from Congressman.
Let's hear from the Congressman. Yes, let's hear from Byron.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, town halls are for the voters, not for the press.
Yes.
Not for the person who's the moderator. Caitlin spent more time interjecting her own viewpoints or her own views on the situation.
Excuse me, those are actually facts.
Now, are you guys not going to interject your?
Why are you interrupting a black man, Anderson?
Okay, everybody, wait a second. Those were facts.
The town hall is for the president to speak to the voters of New Hampshire, not for this back and forth with media.
Why are you interrupting a black man, Anderson?
With respect to Ukraine, I totally disagree. He did not say he was just going to give over Ukraine the way you intimate, Van. He did not say that.
He didn't say
what he said.
He did not say that he would stand for a victory.
What he said is that he would actually look for a solution to end it quickly. He put 24 hours on it, but let's be very clear. What Joe Biden has done has been a disaster because initially with Ukraine, Joe Biden wanted to give Vladimir Zelensky a ride out of Dodge. He wanted to give him a plane ride. And it wasn't until people in Moscow, in Ukraine, here in the United States said this invasion is wrong that Joe Biden reversed course.
Do you want a victory in Ukraine? Do you want a victory in Ukraine?
I'm just trying to respond
to everything that's
been coming up on the table.
Can you please let him effing talk? Everyone else can talk.
Let me say this. We spent 22, 23 minutes talking about January 6th. We could have been talking about a whole lot of other issues instead of doing that for the first half hour or so. But let me be very clear. What was said in this town hall about National Guard troops that were authorized by Caitlin was wrong. I'm on the Oversight Committee. I was in 2 hearings on January 6th. It was testified in oversight that Donald Trump authorized National Guard troops on January 4. He followed up in a call with then acting Secretary of Defense on January 5, trying to see where the deployment was on those troops. That is testimony in the Oversight Committee. Everybody testified in Oversight Committee when Nancy Pelosi was Speaker of the House, except one organization, and that was the Capitol Police.
Did you read the
Nancy Pelosi would not allow
He was literally in the hearings, Anderson.
I'm telling you what was testified to in the Oversight Committee under oath.
Well, let me just correct you, because what Caitlin was saying was what the former Secretary of Defense wrote in his book. He said the president did not.
I am telling you what he testified to under oath. In the Oversight Committee.
Congressman, can I just ask?
Are the facts? Go ahead.
You do acknowledge Donald Trump lost the 2020 election, correct?
Again, we're going to continue to talk about 2020.
No, I mean, it's a direct
right
question.
now, hold on. Let me tell you why most voters are frankly kind of tired of y'all bringing this up.
Yes.
Inflation. Border.
You don't have the courage to express your opinion about
I'm a Republican voter. I'm a Republican voter.
No, you're not. There is no universe in which you're a Republican voter, lady.
Foreign policy. If you want to talk about the 2020 election, let's talk about this. We do know that Mark Elias was in many jurisdictions suing to actually change election procedures, which, by the way, is at the hands of the state legislature in every state, according to the Constitution. Not in the hands of courts, not in the hands of the Supreme Court, the state legislature. We do know that to be a fact. We do know that
You won't state your opinion about factually what happened in the 2020 election.
You guys want me to make a statement. This is, Frank, let me tell you right now. This is what's frustrating to a lot of people. You want me to state
why are you trying to bully a black man, Anderson? Are you white supremacist, Anderson? Why are you such a white supremacist, Anderson? Why are you trying to bully a black man on camera?
2024, a couple of things are very, very clear. The nation is a mess.
I would vote for him.
Our border is overrun. Inflation is crippling every family, Republican, Democrat, Independent. Those are the facts of the matter in 2024, not 2020.
Look at this. Byron's like, this wasn't a debate with the media, and CNN is like, oh yeah, we'll do a debate, Byron.
The last election and questions about the last election and the insurrection should be part of the discussion now. But since the president was there, since he was the one who was propagating these stories about a rigged election, and he repeated it again tonight, since he was the one who rallied the crowd that stormed the Capitol, that he celebrated tonight. I want to ask you this one thing, because I was interested when he was talking about his case that was decided yesterday by a jury, and he said, well, that was rigged. It was a Clinton-appointed judge. A lot of Trump-appointed judges threw out these allegations of election rigging. Should they be trusted because they're Trump-appointed judges, or are they rigged too?
Listen, every candidate that runs for office, everyone, I've run for office, you're allowed to contest an election. We all have that ability. You have the ability to go to court and do that, and all those kinds of things. He's had the ability to do it. Right now, he was making a statement very clearly about how he still feels about the 2020 elections, but he's also looking forward prospectively. The point I'm making is Caitlin didn't want to do that. She wanted to hang in and continue to talk about the 2020 elections until she got the answer she wanted. Let's be very clear on that one.
Listen, I want to say—
this entire panel is against Byron Donalds.
She did a masterful job of fact-checking a lie machine in real time in front of millions of people.
Except that she didn't get it right, according to the sitting congressman who fact-checked your reporter
it is
on
incredibly
this fucking
difficult
panel.
To talk to somebody who is going to say things. Sometimes they're true, sometimes they're not true. I don't think anybody here thinks that Donald Trump is a paragon of truth-telling. I thought Caitlin did a masterful job. She's a matador against
while
the bull.
facing sexist attacks throughout. And
I'm
someone who cares about securing the border, lowering inflation. Why can't Ron DeSantis do that? Why can't Chris Sununu do that? There's a plethora of Republican candidates who want to do the things for our country that I know you want to do and that I want to do and David Urban wants to do.
Hampshire. I am telling you right now, Chris Sununu would lose in New Hampshire, and he is the current governor of New Hampshire.
That's the only person who just once again called a woman a sexist.
I'm going to leave the indictment
child.
alone for a second, but let's be very clear. The reason why is because Republican voters want him to come back.
Because he's lied to them incessantly.
Stop. He actually did the job. You know that. And frankly, he did the job better than the current president right now. And that is indisputable. Name the issue. Donald Trump did it better.
How about infrastructure? We had infrastructure week every week.
You mean the bloated bill that they passed through that they still haven't started constructing on?
I mean the zero bill that you passed. You had infrastructure week every week for 4 years and never got one done.
Is there anything that the look, I accept
Byron Donalds.
I think that he probably,
owning this
if I were
entire
his
panel right
advisors, I actually would say, this is what we wanted. We got what we wanted.
Yeah.
He was talking to his base,
for Byron,
and he rallied his base. If I were his lawyers, I'd be deeply concerned about what he said tonight. But is there anything that would exclude him, even if he is someone who Republican voters want back in office because of the things he did in terms of policy? Like, could he go out and kill somebody? Is there anything that would be that you would consider beyond the pale? Or would you just set everything aside and say, well, this is what people want, so those picadillos we're going to let alone?
At the end of the day, this is always going to be at the hands of the voters. The voters are going to decide who they want to support. Polling would dictate that they want to support Donald Trump by a wide margin in the Republican Party. I will also say the ABC polling is pretty clear that Americans writ large want to support him over Joe Biden.
So
and that Joe Biden has dementia, and people don't think he has the mental capacity to be president.
A little bit of an outlier, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that we will see other data like this, because we know that voters do feel disappointed in Joe Biden. However, Donald Trump has been laying, in my view, a little bit low over the last couple of months. And it will be very interesting to see, do voters who may have forgotten what it felt like for Donald Trump to be in the spotlight, do they come away from this feeling excited and energized? Maybe some Republican base voters will, as we heard the folks in that room. But I suspect a lot of independents will not come away feeling energized. They will feel exhausted. I don't want this rerun, and that's going to be a problem.
So that's what I was just
and you think they're going to prefer Joe Biden? You are dreaming.
If you left tonight, you'd say he did a great job, because he spoke to his base.
Do a great job.
No, but I'm saying he spoke to his base.
They think he did a great job. He just said, I didn't say he didn't do a great job. They think Trump did a great job. That's why they're all so freaked out.
We're scrum. We're trying to get the votes. And I think the
Trump has been playing golf.
If he wants to win, right?
He's
going to need to speak to those suburban
He's energized.
Pittsburgh voters, suburban
Philly
voters.
I think his calculation is, if I get the nomination, I can beat Biden, just as I think Biden's calculation is, if I get the nomination, I can beat Trump. And so I don't think he's worried about those people you're talking about right now.
But he needs to. And by the way, just real quickly, I want to echo what Van said. It's very tough to kind of keep the president on track. And I don't think Caitlin was trying to interrupt. I think she was trying to keep the train on the tracks and did a pretty good job.
Got to take a quick break. Coming up next, more fact checking with some of what we heard tonight.
We are not going to watch the CNN fact check, because we know that the CNN fact check is going to be a whole metric boat ton of lies. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight, but I do just want to say, if you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you stick around. Please mount that like button. Please subscribe. I do streams Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. talking about the culture war. I look at both sides. I'm not on the left. I'm not on the right. I try to really play it straight. If you do something that I think is good, I'll say it. If you do something that I think is bad, I'll say it. But I really want to encourage everyone. Join us for Socialism Saturday, or any of my socialism streams, because sometimes, and including tomorrow probably, I do midweek socialism. But we watch on this channel, one of the most amazing things we watch is real socialists, not AOC, not Bernie Sanders. We watch the farthest left of the far left, and we watch them because they will quite literally tell us exactly what they're doing, and they are driving the Democrats, the Democratic talking points. And so the things that the socialists are saying today will become talking points of the Democratic Party in a year, 2 years, 3 years. So it's like getting a free preview. It is the most dystopian thing you will ever see. It will explain to you what's really going on in the culture war. We do Socialism Saturday. Yasmin says it's the best. And on Saturdays at 6 p.m., you can watch some of the archives on the channel. But if you stick around for no other stream that I do, check out Socialism Saturday. Your mind will be blown. I will show you parts of the culture war that no one else on the internet is talking about. No one else on YouTube is talking about, that you don't even know exist. All right, guys. So that's all I have for right now. I will see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. And yeah, thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.